So hi Purvesh, hope you're doing well.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good too. And thank you for accepting our invitation to be a part of the Next Gen Entrepreneurs Beyond Dreams series. And to give a brief about Purvesh, he's a founder and CEO of White Automations. And White Automations is founded in 2016. And the startup works in the Internet of Things arena. And they also aim to build ingenious IoT solutions. And their focus is to push forward the internalization of things people use in daily life. And also coming to their proprietary products, they offer Regno 1.1, a smart home and office system, FireDome 2.0, that's to control the temperature and entertainment systems. And also they offer smart glasses, smart doorbells, blinds, curtains, and sensor series and more. And we are really happy to have you with us today. And we'd like to hear more about yourself, like a brief about yourself and how you started your entrepreneurship journey. Yes, please.
Um, in 2015, I actually left my job. I was
Mm-hmm,
doing a, I was a consultant here in Ahmedabad for an Oracle-based company,
mm-hmm,
and I left my job in 2015 end.
mm-hmm,
So in 2016, I was trying to go abroad and settle down there, have my MBA done and everything.
mm-hmm.
But then I thought that I can do this. So I
Okay.
was already having the technical know-hows and understandings of
Mm-hmm,
how this happens, and I had this idea that
mm-hmm.
we can do this. So I started everything by my own in that time.
Okay.
So I was
Uh-huh.
running everything, every single operation from my bedroom in that time.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting. Mm-hmm,
yeah. And then the research phase started in
mm-hmm,
2016. Then it went on till late 2018,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
then we launched our product in 2019 January.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm,
the first installation that we did was in 2018 May itself,
mm-hmm,
but the large scale productions and the sales teams and everything it didn't take place until the January of 2019, and since
mm-hmm.
when the rest is in front of everyone. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's very interesting to know, like, initiating like a one-man army kind of, you doing everything technically and also, in other initial phase of the product development, etc. Right? So how was it
Yeah,
like? You said that you had multiple options and one was the entrepreneurship.
doing this,
So
yes.
yes, like us, like why smart homes? Like how did automation why how did it influence you, why you wanted to venture into this particular set of products? And
I didn't want to get into smart homes per se. Actually, I wanted to
Mhm.
get into IoTs. You
Okay,
see,
okay.
the
Mm-hmm.
IoT shift is actually in those times. I was reading reports from
Mm-hmm.
McKinsey and all that the IoT shift is
Yes.
going to
Mm-hmm.
be around 5 or 6 times
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
than which was the mobile revolution, the
Yeah.
smartphone
Mm-hmm.
revolution.
Mm-hmm.
IoT is going to be around 5 or 6 times bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
So the scope was very good
Mm-hmm.
in fact. So the only market that I was very much sure about was smart homes. That if we build
Okay.
this, I'm very confident that I can build this. And
Yes.
then
Mm-hmm.
if we try to sell this thing,
Mm-hmm.
we can have multiple clients. We can sell this to industries. We can sell
Mm-hmm.
this to hotels and all, hospitals and all.
Mm-hmm.
Then it started with that. So
Okay.
smart homes was a start point. We
Mm-hmm.
are,
Okay.
and smart homes was particularly of an area of interest because you see, people have been, our own race actually have been
Mm-hmm.
trying to perfect the indoors since millenniums now.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
since the cave times to this
Mm-hmm.
time that we live in lavish homes and everything. So the middle phase when the industrial revolution happened
Mm-hmm.
and electricity came along and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, multiple things have built up,
Mm-hmm.
and the homes which used to use around 200 units per month
Mm-hmm.
are now using around 700, 800 units per month.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
the internals, the
Mm-hmm.
appliances and all, they haven't been that much updated since a long
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
smart homes is not just about switching your lights and your AC is
Mm-hmm.
on and off.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be more than that. So we are trying to
Mm-hmm.
achieve that thing here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's great. And also, I could see that, you said you started by 2016, and also like I think the global
Yeah.
pandemic could have fueled your process, I think, because most were the domestic internalization was like more like people were indoors most of the time, and also like and
Mm.
also that could have been a positive impact, but also manufacturing hardware availability etc could have been the negative impact. So what was the challenge like during the COVID time itself, when you were also doing the mass production etc? How was it impacting your business, and other than that, what were your initial challenges in your startup?
So the COVID times were pretty hard.
Mm-hmm,
I will say this because from the initial phase,
mm-hmm,
look what kind of the kind of business that we are in.
mm-hmm.
It has to be a physical presence. You cannot do
Yes.
this work online, or you
Mm-hmm.
cannot do this
Yes.
work from your home.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the sales and the technical
Mm-hmm.
installations, the hardware installation, the consultation itself,
Mm-hmm.
it has to take place in person.
Mm-hmm.
So unless and until you have that ability to go somewhere and meet someone, it doesn't actually move around.
Yes.
The
Yes.
needle
Mm-hmm.
stays where it is. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so those were some testing times for us. And apart from that, the manufacturing process, the dependency on of the electronic components on China,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
has affected us very much,
Mm-hmm.
very hardly. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
very. It was like that the components that we used to pay 3 rupees, 5 rupees per piece.
Mm-hmm.
The prices went up to around 50 rupees, 60 rupees, and God
Oh
knows.
my God. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's
the
an
scarcity is
exponential
still
increase,
very
like
much there.
yeah,
Yeah,
unexpected and
it is
also.
tenfold
Mm-hmm.
increase in every single
Yeah.
thing,
Mm-hmm.
tenfold increase in the components that we used.
Mm-hmm.
So up till the start of the pandemic, we already had around 100 customers throughout India,
Mm-hmm.
around 20, 25 plus dealers and distributors, ad hoc dealers, and everybody who were
Mm-hmm.
working for our company in their local regions.
Okay.
So all of those infrastructure actually
Mm-hmm.
came to a halt at that time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
the silver lining is this: that as you said, that people were spending more time at home.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So the kind of product that we have, it certainly created a interest in them. So
Yes.
when the
Yeah.
market
Mm-hmm.
opened after that,
Mm-hmm.
after the pandemic and after the lockdowns
Mm-hmm.
and all, the kind of interest that we were seeing
Mm-hmm.
before the pandemic, it has been increased to around 3 to 4 times. So
Okay.
everybody who
Mm-hmm.
is building a new home or renovating their
Yes.
home or even not doing anything in their home,
Mm-hmm.
like in terms of the upgradation and all, they
Mm-hmm.
also have an interest and they also are becoming our clients.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's the silver lining of this.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was a
Mm-hmm.
pretty roller coaster, a pretty good
Mm-hmm.
roller coaster
Ups and
ride.
downs, all
Yeah,
in,
it was.
part of,
It
yeah.
was.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's nice. Thank you for sharing your experience. And also, coming to the other challenges, like the initial phase, as you said, like you were doing everything on your own, and then
Yeah.
how you got support, like the funding and also building a team together. How it all
So
went? Was it a smooth ride, or how you?
yeah, it wasn't a smooth ride. It never is actually, and that's why
Yeah.
it is so less people go
Mhm.
choose this kind of a thing. The
Yeah.
thing is that we when I bootstrapped this thing, the initial funding was my own.
Okay.
I had some money of my own, and
Mm-hmm.
then I borrowed some money from my family,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we had our MVP and some
Mm-hmm.
basic installations done in several places across Gujarat,
Mm-hmm.
then I got my first round of funding, angel investing
Okay.
in that time.
Mm-hmm.
It
Okay.
was 2019 May itself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So after the MVP was launched, after the marketing materials were actually done,
Mm-hmm.
and the sales were taking place in that time,
Mm-hmm.
we got an angel investor in that time, and
Okay.
then we expanded our product portfolio from
Mm-hmm.
4 products to around 14 products in just 3 months
Mm-hmm.
in that time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so it was a pretty good thing in that
Mm-hmm.
we were needing funding at that time,
Okay,
and it came
okay.
to us. It
That's
it
great.
it,
Yeah.
it went like that.
The
Yeah,
right time, knocking the door at the right
yeah,
time.
right
And
timing. Yes,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's nice. Like, how you explain it, like it's all a part of the process. And like it's all like in a startup, the perseverance, challenges, and also the funding,
Mm.
it all is a part and parcel of the whole process itself. And yeah, so I can understand that.
Mm.
And also like building a team. And how was it for you? Like why was a core team built at the initial phase itself, or
No, it wasn't actually. The core team in the initial phase, initial 2 years, were just developers.
mm-hmm,
All
mm-hmm,
right. So there was nobody who was overseeing the operations. There were nobody who was overseeing the productions and all. So the key decision maker was myself.
okay,
So for around 3 years for the
mm-hmm,
initial time, and
mm-hmm,
then after that we hired some people. The angel investor, he actually spares some time to come over
mm-hmm,
and look at everything. So
mm-hmm,
he helps me. He actually mentors me in many things.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. So it went on like that, and now
mm-hmm,
we have an operations head, we have a marketing head, we have a sales head,
okay,
we have a technical team as well, we have technicians team as well who goes on the
mm-hmm,
ground and
mm-hmm,
does the installations for our company. So
okay,
it went on brick by brick, step
mm-hmm,
by step. There was no eureka moment in this.
okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, it's also good, right, to start with. And because forming everything first, and then taking a big step, and then it's different. Like to go from step by step, it's always preferred here, because we don't know like how it would be the products, customers' experience, etc. Like what was your thinking? Like, you just went on with the flow, or you had a very clear cut idea? Okay, I'm going to start like this, and there's going to be a process. And yeah, how was it for you?
Actually, the thing was that I didn't had any experience in entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the matter is that I didn't even knew the spelling of entrepreneur when I started this thing off. To
Okay.
be honest, yeah.
Okay.
So the know-hows were
Mm-hmm.
actually pretty alien to me in that time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I was not having a in 2016, quite frankly,
Mm-hmm.
and in the city that we are based in, the
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur kind of thing, the startup kind of thing, it was
Mm-hmm.
not very much popular back then.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it actually came and started around 2018 and 2019.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So back then there was no such a thing. So I was thinking like this, I can do this as a business,
Mm-hmm.
something like that, and we can build brick by brick. And I had no other option actually at
Okay.
that time,
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
other than
Okay.
to learn everything step by step.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you have a mentor, you have some
Mm-hmm.
partners who actually have these
Yes.
kind of experience. You can
Mm-hmm.
leverage that. But unless and until
Mm-hmm.
you don't have that kind of thing, you have
Yes.
to learn everything slowly
Mm-hmm.
and robustly. You see,
Yes.
you have
Yes.
to put every brick where it belongs.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
been that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting actually, because we always come up, startups who say, okay, we had some initial project in hand, and then we had our mentors, and also like some peers as co-founders. Okay, we all thought, okay, let's do it. And but it's very different, and it's very unique, your journey. I'm really surprised, and also it's inspiring to know, like okay, I left the job, and I was, thinking about this. I started my own, and then everything came into place. And yeah, that's really interesting. And yeah,
It takes every ounce of your being actually.
yeah.
It sounds pretty romantic, but
Yes.
it really isn't
Yeah.
on the ground. But
Yes.
still,
Yes.
it is an exciting thing. And
Yes.
after you do it for a certain period of time, you
Mm-hmm.
actually start enjoying that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the learning process, the challenges, the
Mm-hmm.
results. Uh, uh, you see, what happens is since our childhood,
Mm-hmm.
we always have this idea of eureka moments. I have passed
Yes.
this thing. I have
Yeah.
98%. Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
have good
Mm-hmm.
friends. I have this. I have that.
Mm-hmm.
So everything comes to you. The result comes to you in a single phase. You put in
Yes.
the efforts, the result comes to you in a
Yes.
single phase. Whether you're appearing for the UPSC examinations, or whether you're
Mm-hmm.
appearing for a job or anything.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular thing, the process actually is in phases, and the results
Mm-hmm.
actually are in phases. So
Yes. Mm-hmm.
there is no one moment that you can say that no, I have achieved everything. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
once you realize that thing, that I have achieved a milestone, another
Mm-hmm.
one is staring at you in your eyes. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to reach up for that as well. So you have
Mm-hmm.
to keep pushing yourself in that matter.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Mm, yeah,
And also coming to your products, right? Like we have like different corporations and also startups offering smart home solutions and smart
yeah.
devices. Like how you would say you're
Mhm.
different, like the value proposition of your products and the functionality is different from it. Do you have a unique such value proposition or yeah, what makes you unique in the whole market? Mhm.
So in technical terms, if I tell you that our products are hello,
Yes, I can hear you. Mhm.
somehow there was a pop-up appeared that internet was unusable.
Okay.
Okay. So the if in terms of technicals,
Mm-hmm.
we actually have the products that can be installed almost anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Let's say when we started this thing, we had one thing in mind, that not every
Mm-hmm.
home is going to be internet enabled. So if you want to
Uh-huh.
use it
Okay.
without an internet, you can use it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing. But the other thing is that we, I actually envisioned this,
Mm-hmm.
that I wanted to replace the switchboards,
Mm-hmm.
and not
Okay.
with something which was a kind of similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to have a phase shift, complete shift.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have this 7-inch touch screen. So you
Okay.
might have seen that
Mm-hmm.
on our
Yes.
website and all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that touch screen actually is a replacement for your switchboards. So you don't need
Okay.
any
Mm-hmm.
kind of switchboard in your home. So you
Mm-hmm.
can go completely switchless in the entire home. That screen is key, is as actually a photo frame. You can
Mm-hmm.
put your family photos on that. Okay,
Oh, that's
you can set
interesting.
them as wallpaper, as screensavers. You can
Okay.
operate your living room. You
Mm-hmm.
can operate bedrooms, all from the single point
Mm-hmm.
of access. And apart
Okay.
from that, you can have this kind of screen installed in each and every one room of yours if you choose
Mm-hmm.
to.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
Okay.
apart from that, you can operate everything from your phone,
Mm-hmm.
from Alexa, and
Okay.
your smart watches.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually are the only company in India which
Okay.
has this kind of a system,
Mm-hmm.
which provides a screen as an option for your user interface.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Apart
actually
from us,
really interesting.
there is none, but
To see an
not
Indian home
actually
without,
is Indian.
sorry for interrupting. So actually, it's really interesting to see, visualize an Indian home without switchboards. That's gonna be a really a revolutionary
Yeah,
thing, like it's
yeah,
because switchboards are like everywhere. Like in India, we have and the replacement for it, and that also in a very smart way. Yeah, it's really, yeah, it's a great initiative, I would say.
yeah. Since around 200 years, it hasn't changed.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
We always have a
the
block
the
reserved for
yeah,
switchboards,
yeah,
that gets
yeah,
dusted
yeah,
and
yeah,
looks so
yeah.
ugly.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the looks, it keeps
Hmm.
on changing. The style
Yes.
keeps on changing, but the
Yes.
basic mechanism is the
The
same.
same.
Has been
Yes.
the same for 200 years now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
since the electricity first came along.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we tried to challenge that thing. So
That's yeah.
that's where, and then that is the
Mm-hmm.
thing which actually got us into some major projects as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
cannot tell you the names of the clients right now because the projects are
Okay.
still in execution phases.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
we have partnered with some of the hotels to provide them
Okay.
end-to-end solutions
Mm-hmm.
in their everyday operations. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
just automation; it is process automation as well.
That's great, actually. And this whole, the mission is, I think it's really different. And I just wanted to know from yourself, like, how different it is, so that it will reach people. And uh, even
Yeah, of course.
this unique value proposition is quite interesting. And also to just understand, like, if a person is, okay, a customer is interested but already his house is constructed and he has the
Hmm.
conventional cables and conventional switchboards, does he
Okay.
or she can also opt to your system? Or when
Yeah,
is
of
the,
course. Yes.
okay,
It
so,
is called a retrofit system,
okay,
which
okay.
actually set the switchboards actually open up, and our
Mm-hmm.
hardware sits behind those switchboards
Okay,
and
okay.
operate everything from back there. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
conventional switches
mm-hmm.
actually still are able to operate,
Okay,
and
okay.
then you can also use it from your phones and
Mm-hmm.
smartwatch and everything.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So
like
it is the retrofit system.
ideally installation is during the construction phase. Like, what's the
Yeah.
ideal installation phase, you would say?
So construction, our system has been designed in such a way that it doesn't make actually a difference whether your home is built or
Okay.
is still in construction.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
when you're in construction, actually, that just the from our end, what you need is
mm-hmm,
some provisions. All
mm-hmm.
right. So we need some cables in certain way,
Okay,
some different cables in certain way, and that's the
okay,
only
okay.
thing that you require. Just one
Mm-hmm,
visit, and we'll tell you that where you need one cable and what that cable is for. Okay,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
that's it.
Okay.
And after the home has been constructed,
Mm-hmm,
after your interiors has been done,
mm-hmm,
and then we come in, we take 1 or 2 days
mm-hmm,
to do everything, and that's it. We just install those things, configure, and just
mm-hmm.
leave.
Okay,
You can use
okay.
it from there at that point on. So
Mm-hmm,
it's that
mm-hmm.
simple.
Okay, okay. And also to know about, like you said, you also have this offline access facility. So how does that
Mhm.
work in your system? Like, if internet is
The
on.
screen actually is a standalone hub. You see,
Okay,
if you have the
okay.
screen in each and every one of your room,
Mm-hmm.
so if your internet is not connected or the internet is down and for
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
for any reason,
Okay,
you can still use it from the screen. And apart from
okay,
that, there is a
okay.
mode which if you enable,
Mm-hmm.
the screen actually creates a hotspot, and you connect to that
Okay,
hotspot and you use it from your
okay.
mobile
Mm-hmm.
phone. Yeah.
Okay, okay. That's interesting actually. And and also, like, how was the like customer response like in the initial phases when you started your in the market ready product, when you started your marketing and everything. So how was the response like?
So the market has certainly been evolved since then, but
Mm-hmm,
in the initial phase, we used to teach people what a smart home is.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm,
Yeah. So that was the phase when we
mm-hmm.
actually started our sales and marketing operations. So
Uh-huh.
first, you need to educate the
Mm-hmm,
clientele that you are targeting, that what
mm-hmm.
a smart home is, what are the benefits, what
Yes.
you can do with it,
Mm-hmm,
what which problems does it solve for you.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you have to educate them in the initial phase. And
Mm-hmm,
the initial clients that we had, the first client that I had was an architect in Ahmedabad, based out of Ahmedabad itself.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
he was a great guy. He's a great guy, and
Okay.
he gave us. We were still in POC phases in that time,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so it was a paid installation. Still, he allowed us to do R
Okay.
and D in his office itself. So
That's great.
yeah, that was the start, and then
Mm-hmm.
we never looked back. Actually, that was
Mm-hmm.
the only installation in which we
Mm-hmm.
needed to do some kind of upgradation in our system, and all. But
Mm-hmm.
after that, it was a chain reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sees, because from the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
the major differentiator that we had was the
Mm-hmm.
screen. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Many of the smart homes in that time, the retrofit ones or the touch switch ones,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't actually make you feel that there is something different about this home.
Yes,
But
yes,
we
true.
had this touch screen
Mm-hmm.
in each and every room of yours,
Mm-hmm.
so that made people curious that
Mm-hmm.
what is this, and can you tell
Yes.
this what this thing is. So the word
Okay.
of mouth was pretty strong in that time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we got our first initial 20-30 orders from that itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the product in this category actually is considered well or
Yes.
good if it works.
Yes, true.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
if it works, it's
Mm-hmm.
good. It
Mm-hmm.
in many of the cases and many of the competitors that we have had
Mm-hmm.
this problems in the back then, that
Mm-hmm.
they had to do maintenance quite very
Mm-hmm.
often.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
I can
took care of
imagine
that
that. I
thing.
can imagine that because conventionally Indian households, like any device which is malfunctioned or something, it gets injured, right? Like, and I just want to know like how what experience you had in such, because when it enters every domestic household, and also it
Yeah,
depends on the behavior of the client, right? And
yeah,
children
yeah, yeah.
children and more, like we have every you have every age category, like your focus is not just a particular
Mm.
age but a home, so every age category you'll be having and you'll be dealing with them. So how was it like where in during a maintenance phases you have any interesting stories like about like how you didn't
I
think that would
actually
happen, unexpected
had an
ones?
experience in the city of Rajkot, if you know that.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, the incident was like suddenly his light kept kept on,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't getting turned off. So
Okay.
he called us around 11:30 in the night, and
Okay.
our teams are situated in Ahmedabad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we had to send somebody over to
Mm-hmm.
Rajkot to deal with this thing immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our guys took a car and went there.
Okay. We
The
had to travel all the
night
way.
it's yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
then in the morning itself, the client actually what the problem was, that
Mm-hmm.
there was one lock in the application that if you turn it
Okay.
on, you
Uh-huh.
cannot change any. Right. So
Okay.
in the night, the team itself forgot to ask this question that have you turned off the lock?
Okay.
and and that client actually turned on the lock. So
Okay.
that was the only thing that needed to
Mm.
change. And they are guys who
Oh
traveled
my God.
right up there to
Mhm.
just change the radio button in the mobile application itself.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah. Mhm.
it was really an
Mhm.
interesting one.
Yeah.
You see, this market uh,
Mhm.
lets you meet people of different
Yes.
background, different ethnicities, and different
Mhm.
cultures each and every day. So
Yes.
the
Yeah.
kind of mindset that you come across every single day
Mhm.
is pretty. The variety is very good. You
Yeah.
see, yeah. So the
Yeah.
experiences are very vast. You learn every
Yes.
small things every single day. So
Mhm.
it's quite a good thing. As I said,
Mhm.
that once you you start doing this for a longer
Yes.
period of time, you
Mhm.
start enjoying it.
Enjoying it.
And yeah, you
Yeah.
start do that. You start do that.
Yeah. And yeah, thanks a lot, Purvesh, for sharing your experience and also about your journey. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And as a takeaway, like what you'd say, like 2 points of takeaway for aspiring entrepreneurs and youngsters from your experience.
Um. Actually, you just need to think about it from the very first time. I jumped into
Mm-hmm.
this uh, in a very small time. I didn't very think
Mm-hmm.
it, thought it through. That how
Okay.
I don't regret it actually, but
Mm-hmm.
I could have done it in a very in a better manner.
Mm-hmm.
The steps would have been better if I
Okay.
had read a lot, if I had some
Mm-hmm.
mentors who could guide me from the very starting point.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that could have saved me a little time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do this thing, do your research pretty good,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because the thing is that sometimes you get lucky. You see, sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes you have to go through some hard times,
Yes.
very
Yeah.
hard times.
Mm-hmm.
So when that happens, you should not regret your decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to
Mm-hmm.
do your homework from the beginning and
Mm-hmm.
do it right. That's the
Right.
only
Yeah.
advice I can give. Actually, that's the only
Yeah.
thing that you need to do. One thing
Mm-hmm.
once, because once you do that, you become mentally prepared for whatever comes next.
Yes, yeah, we have to
Mm.
they to
I,
understand why they started it, like the why question. If that's very strong, and it will,
mm,
deal with all other ups and downs in the whole journey, right? Mm-hmm.
yeah, and one more thing is that actually two things. One is that
Mm-hmm.
it's the basic rule of mine: don't be a
Mm-hmm.
copycat.
Right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you're making a juice,
Mm-hmm.
let's say an apple juice,
Mm-hmm.
you do it a bit different or bit better than everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to figure out that better part first.
Mm-hmm.
What you're going to be going to be doing, which is better than what what is there in the market.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Mm-hmm.
don't have that answer, don't start. That's the first
Okay.
thing. The
Mm-hmm.
second thing is that never work for money, work
Mm-hmm.
for a cause.
Mm-hmm.
That I want to do this, because
Okay.
money actually, if you start running after it, it
Yes.
goes away. If you have taken two steps,
Mm-hmm.
it has gone away to two more steps.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
works like that. But you're working for
Mm-hmm.
a cause,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't mind not having money for the momentary period of time.
True.
But
Mm-hmm.
after that, you will have money. That's a
Mm-hmm.
byproduct actually. But
Yes. Yeah.
the cause actually lets you stick to your
Mm-hmm.
goal.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's very rightly said, and thank you, Purvesh, for your time, and also your
my
interest
pleasure,
in
ma'am.
participating in our Beyond Dreams series. Yes, yeah, thank you, and we'll surely meet on any other discussion or interview sessions. So now,
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Bye bye.
bye.